What's up everybody, I'm back and today we are looking at something kind of low on the horizon, the planet Venus right there, and as a result I kind of had to move the telescope right next to the road so that way there'd be no trees blocking it, which is a bit less convenient because all the cars and stuff, but we do have that line of sight which is perfect. And yeah, so as you can see right here, Venus looks absolutely huge in the eyepiece, and that's because right now it's super close to us. It's the closest planet to us right now by a lot, and also it's like twice as big as Mars by diameter. So yeah, it looks really nice and big in the eyepiece, and I think it's gonna make for a great picture. So without further ado, we'll just start taking pictures because it's so bright in the sky that it's really easy to just point the telescope at it and start shooting. So we'll get right on that right now. Alright, future Blake here, and real quick before I start taking all those photos, I'm going to show you guys why it looks like a crescent in the eyepiece. So if the sun is here, Venus is here, and Earth is there, and these are kind of their orbits that I put in dotted lines. If you look at Venus from our perspective on Earth, specifically right here on Earth, because we're just on the night side because the sun just set, if we look at Venus, the light side is facing the sun, so most of it to us is going to look dark, and a little sliver of it is going to look light, and that is why most of it on the crescent looks dark and a little bit looks light. The reason that most other planets don't show phases is because most other planets are farther out from the sun than we are. So let's say Jupiter, for example. Here's Earth, here's Jupiter, and it's so far away from us that no matter where we are in our orbit, from our perspective, it's always pretty much just going to be that light side facing us. So that's why most other planets are just the full disk, but Venus and Mercury, because they're closer to the sun than we are, show phases. Alright, so I just finished taking all those photos. I took 20 because Venus doesn't really have any surface features for us to look at, only the phase of it, but the clouds are so dense there that it kind of covers the entire surface, so we can't really see anything. So I'm not trying to take too many pictures because it's kind of going to give us the same result anyways, so I think 20 is a good number. And yeah, really easy target today, so let's get inside and stack these photos. Alright, so I have a folder with all of our pictures inside of it, and the first thing we have to do is find one of the pictures where Venus is kind of close to the middle. And let's see, this one is good enough, so we're going to take it and we're going to open it with Photoshop. Just like that. And now, after we hit open, it makes a new Photoshop document where the base layer is that photo. And then all we have to do is take all the photos except for that one and drag them in, and then we hit enter for each one to put it into the document. The next step is to, now that you have all the pictures here, is you highlight all of them except for the bottom one, and then you make the opacity 50%, and then you uncheck all of the pictures. Once you finish that, you re-show the second picture, and then you move it to align Venus pretty well in the pictures. And then you repeat that with the next one, and so on until all the pictures are aligned. After that, we take all of the photos again except for the bottom one, and we make the opacity 100% again. And then we crop the whole picture to a square. And now that we kind of aligned Venus in all the pictures, we can crop it pretty small and it'll still have all of our Venus shots inside of it. So that should be pretty good. Let's hit enter to crop that. Alright, now that it cropped, we go to export and we go to layers to files, and then we make a new folder inside of just anywhere on our computer, and that is going to take each one of these pictures and export it as its own image. And it's important that you export it as a TIFF file, and that way no data is lost. So the end result of all of our stuff we did in Photoshop is this new folder here called Untitled Folder, and that has all of our pictures of Venus, except Venus is in the same exact area of each photo. And that means that we can put it into Linkios right here, which is a stacking program, and just like that, we can look at each one of the photos in this program. But the most important thing we do is we could align them and then stack them. So to align, we just have to put a box a little bit bigger than Venus itself and then hit align. And then hit analyze. You don't have to worry about that. stacking it, hit double size because that makes the end result less pixelated. And then do a little bit bigger of a box this time. Like that should be good. And then hit stack. And that right there is, we're getting close to our final picture of Venus, but you can already see how clean it's looking. So our next step is to save the image, and I'm just going to save it into the same Venus folder that I saved everything into initially. All right, so here's our photo, untitled.tiff, and we're going to touch this up in Photoshop a little bit now. So open it with Photoshop. And the first thing I think we should do is crop it, because it kind of seems a little bit cramped. The Venus is taking up most of the pictures, so to kind of reflect how empty space is, I thought we'd make it a little bit bigger like that. And put Venus in the middle like that, and then hit enter. So as you'll notice, there's a lot of white behind it, and that doesn't look very good. So we're gonna go to the background eraser tool and make this circle really big, and then just erase that. And then hit I to get the color sampler, and then hit layer, new fill layer, solid color, and it's by default gonna make the color the same color that we just sampled. So hit OK, and now move that behind our initial one. And of course, this white line is not great, so we're going to do Command E to connect the layers and kind of like combine them. And then we're going to take the brush and again sample the space color and just paint over that. All right, now that it's kind of in a better, I guess, position, Venus, now our next step that we have to do is get rid of this color fringing that we have here. And that comes from the type of lens that's on my telescope. Refractor telescopes tend to do this and reflector ones don't, but I like refractors because they kind of give you better contrast. Anyways, to get rid of this, all we have to do is duplicate this layer like that. And then on the new one, go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian blur, and then let's see, I think 25 pixels is good because you can see that you can't really see that color fringing very much anymore. So hit OK, and then go to this thing right here, I think it's blending modes, and go to color. And as you can see, now that color fringing went mostly away when we did that. So did a bit of the vibrant yellow color of Venus, but I think that's a worthy sacrifice. So yeah, here it is. That is our final picture of Venus. And yeah, I'm really happy with this picture as always because, I don't know, it looks cool. And yeah, Venus is a really easy planet to shoot because it's so big in the sky and it's so bright and easy to find that, yeah, taking a photo, there isn't that much to it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this whole process, and I'll see you guys next time.